And the competency of maintains presence. Marker number 4 says that the coach demonstrates confidence in working with strong client emotions during the coaching process. So we've talked about this in other videos, about the ability to, like, what to do with the client when they have strong emotions. They might be positive emotions, or I should say upbeat emotions. They might be negative or downbeat emotions. It's not actually our responsibility to judge if they're good or they're bad, if they're positive or negative. That's really the client's place to decide. What's our place is to be able to work with those emotions and to be able to be confident in our ability to do so. So we can't run from emotions. I've heard coaches say that, well, this is business coaching. There shouldn't be emotions here. Well, guess what? There's emotions in business coaching. I cannot count the number of times where in a corporate environment, people have broken down. I can't count the number of times in a corporate environment, and you probably can't either, where people were angry and upset and irate. I can't count the number of times when people were frustrated and confused and afraid. There are emotions in the corporate environment, and there are emotions in coaching. As a coach, you have to learn to be comfortable with whatever emotion is there. And part of that is to recognize that emotions are part of being human. We have emotions. They're there for a reason. Our emotions are part of our body's mechanism to self-preserve. They're an indicator that something is not as it should be, that something is not as we want it. Or maybe they're an indicator that something is growing and changing and it's exactly what I've hoped for. Often the emotions that people have trouble dealing with are the ones that we would probably label as negative emotions or toxic emotions or something like that. So you're going to see that. Number one, you have to get comfortable with it. You have to just be able to sit in the space and know that it's okay. See, if you're not comfortable with the emotion, it's about you. That's you. That has nothing to do with the client. That is you. So we're looking at presence. You have to be able to put you to the side. And you have to be able to accept, be fully accepting of the client, of who they are, what they represent, how they show up, and what they feel, and what they express. And we can be comfortable with emotions that aren't emotions we would have, right? Maybe you're not a crier and your client is. Maybe you're pretty even keel and you don't get upset and angry and frustrated, but your client might. Maybe fear is not a thing for you, but it might be for your client. And so you have to be comfortable with the fact that your client is human, comfortable with the fact that they have emotions, feel safe and secure and confident enough to be in that space with them. And if this is something that they want to change about themselves, then help them to explore it, to understand it, and to change it. It's possible that they don't want to change it, and they just need to experience. A fully competent coach will take emotions and they will use them in the coaching conversation. They'll use them for the client's benefit, for the client's exploration, for the client to uncover new information and to learn, to discover what's underneath those emotions so that they can recognize what they really want. Maybe they can recognize faulty beliefs. Maybe they can recognize, I don't know, anything, right? It's new information. So we can take those things and we can work with them and we can leverage them. And clients can learn new things about themselves and their situations, and they can design new futures and new outcomes that they want to have. So as we look on here, I think something that's really close to this is marker number 5, which says the coach is comfortable working in a space of not knowing. So part of our confidence as a coach is knowing that we won't always know, we won't always understand, and we don't have to. That's part of the beauty of coaching. I don't have to hold all the client's information because I don't have to make a decision. I don't have to understand what they're talking about. Right? I should be able to generate some context, right? To be able to understand the context they're in and be able to be okay in that context. But I don't need the details. I don't need to know how they got what they are, where they are, and what happened yesterday, and all those things. All that is data that the coach doesn't need because the coach isn't the one who's going to be doing the work. The client's the one doing the work. And so we have to be comfortable letting the client hold the data. Let the client hold their own things, their own information, their own details. The client doesn't have to disclose everything to you. You will actually work with some clients, and there'll be times when the client comes to talk to you and they want coaching, and the information that they want coaching on is confidential. So they can't actually go into detail about the actual problem, yet they want coaching on what they should do. And you know what? That's okay. And you can still coach in that space. The reason why is because the client is doing the work. And while you're focusing on the client is focusing on that problem they're trying to solve. And they can hold all that information in their mind and they can work with it. And your role is to listen to what they do express and to respond to that. Focus on the client, not on what the client's trying to resolve. And you'll be okay not knowing everything.